It's fantastic. Neymar received €1 billion. Trossard's transfer to Beşiktaş. PSG lost Luis Enrique, and Liverpool will sign Olise. All of this and more in today's episode. Lionel Messi scored a brace in a match against Venezuela and did it at the packed Monumental, where 85,000 fans chanted his name. This was his last official match for the Argentine national team on home soil, as he himself confirmed before the game. A very special night that still leaves me speechless with emotion. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to all the people for their love and for always supporting us. Whatever happens and whatever the future may be, only God knows. Let's go Argentina! Messi wrote on Instagram after the match. I always dreamed of finishing exactly like this at home, with my family, with the people who love me. He scored in the 39th and 80th minutes, and the third goal was scored by 𝗕𝗥𝗚𝗚 Martínez. After the final whistle, tears, hugs with his children, and ovations that continued even after he left the field. Argentina has already secured a place at the 2026 World Cup, and Messi will not go with the team for the next match against Ecuador. He is returning to Miami, and although the end of his career has not been officially announced, everything indicates that this was his last appearance for the 𝗕𝗥𝗚𝗚 in Argentina. Is this the end of an era? Beşiktaş has made an official offer of €22 million for Leandro Trossard from Arsenal. Negotiations between the clubs are ongoing, as the transfer window in Turkey closes next week. Although the Belgian recently extended his contract, his role in the team has significantly decreased after the arrival of Eze. Arsenal is considering a sale option, given the squad depth and financial situation. Beşiktaş, which previously failed to agree on Jadon Sancho, sees Trossard as a key reinforcement. If the deal goes through, it could become one of Beşiktaş's loudest transfers in history. After moving from Chelsea for €35 Christopher Nkunku not only changed clubs, he changed his mood. In London, there were injuries, expectations, and disappointments. In Milan, a new start, new responsibility. When I first heard about Milan, it was something special for me. I didn't think for too long. I immediately agreed. I just wanted to hear about the project, and it happened. He also mentioned the difficult period at Chelsea, injuries, relapses, and loss of form. But now, a new start. I want to play with a smile on my face, and I know that in Milan, everything will be different. Nkunku is already training with the team and preparing for his debut. His first match will be against Bologna. The scandal around Erik ten Hag at Bayern is gaining momentum. According to Bild, the Dutch coach, who was fired after only 2 matches in the Bundesliga, interfered in the club's transfer planning and promoted only players from his agency structure, SEG Football. Inside the club, this is called transfer schemes, because Ten Hag effectively lobbied for the interests of his own agency, ignoring Bayern's sports strategy. This behavior caused serious dissatisfaction among the management, which was already under pressure due to massive changes in the squad, 17 newcomers in one summer. Ten Hag, in response, stated that he was not given time and trust, but sources in the club claim it wasn't a rebuild but a private transfer shop. Now, everything falls into place. It turns out that at Manchester United he was also just making money. The club trusted him completely, and he bought players for over £400 million. And of course, you all know what result that brought. Guys, this is a full-scale trash. It's good that Bayern didn't tolerate this character and threw him out immediately, but the pharmacists will now have to clean up this mess that he managed to stir up in a few months. Against the background of this mess, the Bayern management is already negotiating with potential successors, and among the favourites are 2 candidates with completely different styles. Thiago Motta is a bet on a systematic approach, but after an unsuccessful period at Juventus, there are questions about whether he can immediately adapt to a new crisis. Postecoglou, on the other hand, is an emotional leader who is able to quickly energize the team and restore fighting spirit. After his success in the Europa League with Tottenham, he looks like an option for quick stabilization without unnecessary philosophies. Raul is also on the list, but he is more of a fan service than a real contender in the current situation. Bayern needs not a symbol, but an anti-crisis manager. A decision must be made in the coming days, because every lost week is another step toward failure. And if they make the wrong choice again, even the winter window will not save them. Point O. Manchester United tried to sign Emiliano Martínez until the very end. Personal terms were agreed upon, negotiations with Aston Villa were ongoing, and the transfer seemed almost complete. But the club blocked the move. Despite the player's readiness, he gave a lot as a professional and as a person. He is loved, and it's visible on the field. He is a key player, and the management didn't want to sell him, said Emi's brother, Alejandro. Rumors of a conflict with Unai Emery were not confirmed. The decision was made exclusively by the management. According to his brother, Martínez is an iconic figure for Villa, like Diego for Napoli or Kun for City. As a result, United switched to the Belgian Seine-Lamens, signing him for £18 M. Martínez remains in Birmingham, irreplaceable for a team that is not ready to lose its legend. Liverpool is preparing for life after Salah and already has a favourite. According to Mailsport, the Reds are actively monitoring Michael Olise, who had a brilliant start at Bayern after moving from Crystal Palace. The Frenchman is a left-footed winger who plays on the right, has experience in the Premier League, and has already scored 4 goals in the first 4 matches of the season. Olise's contract with Bayern is valid until 2029, but it may have a clause that Liverpool plans to activate next summer. Salah will be 34, and the club wants a soft transition without panic, without losing pace. Olise is at the top of the shopping list, writes journalist Lewis Steele. His style, statistics, and profile are ideal for replacing Salah. Olise finished last season with 15 assists, the best indicator in the Bundesliga, and 27 goal contributions, second only to Harry Kane. Neymar inherited €990 million from a mysterious billionaire. The 33-year-old Santos forward became the sole heir of a businessman from Porto Alegre, who left him €6.2 billion, which is €990 million, in his will. The reason? His relationship with his father reminds me of my own. He is not selfish, it is a rarity, the document states. The inheritance includes real estate, shares, investments, and bank accounts. The legal process has already been launched, but it may take months due to tax nuances. Neymar himself has not yet commented on the situation. If the inheritance is confirmed, he will become one of the richest athletes in history. Guys, what do you think about the inheritance from an unknown person of $1 billion? I think it's everyone's dream. PSG's head coach, Luis Enrique, was hospitalized after a fall from a bicycle. The incident occurred on Friday in Paris. According to official information from the club, the Spanish coach broke his collarbone and has already undergone surgery. PSG expresses its full support for Luis Enrique and wishes him a speedy recovery. Additional information will be provided later, the club's statement said. Enrique is known for his passion for cycling. He previously participated in the 𝗕𝗥𝗚𝗡 Marathon in South Africa, where he rode more than 700 kilometers in 8 days. It is not yet known whether he will be able to be present at the match against Lens, which is scheduled for the 14th of September. According to doctors' estimates, recovery from such an injury can take from 8 to 12 weeks. Nathan Ake could become one of the most interesting transfer stories of January. 3 clubs at once, Tottenham, Everton, and Nottingham Forest, are considering signing him. Manchester City values the defender at about £15 M, which seems like a quite affordable price for an experienced player with a Premier League background. At Tottenham, he could add flexibility to the defence, especially given the frequent injuries in the centre of the defence. Everton is looking for stability, and Forest, experience and leadership. All 3 clubs have their arguments, but the main thing is which club Ake himself will choose. Harry Maguire has entered the sphere of interest of 2 Saudi Pro League clubs, and, according to The Sun, he is ready to consider a move after the end of the season. Although the transfer window in England is already closed, Saudi clubs still have time until the 23rd of September to finalise the deal. However, Maguire himself made it clear that he wants to finish the season at Manchester United, and only then decide his future. The defender's contract is valid until June 2026. The club activated the extension option back in January. Under the leadership of Ruben Amorim, Maguire returned to the starting lineup. Although he is not an unquestionable leader of the defence, Saudi clubs have already made official inquiries, but the player said that he is ready to negotiate only after the end of the season. This may be his last year at Old Trafford, and if there is no new contract from January, he will be able to sign a preliminary agreement with a foreign club. The Saudi option looks realistic. Maguire is just going into a highly paid retirement point. After the third consecutive defeat, this time against Slovakia, the German national team found itself in a difficult situation. On the field, apathy; in the locker room, tension; and on social media, a wave of hatred. Antonio Rüdiger, who spent the match as a leader of the defense, actually took on the role of head coach, addressing the team harshly after the final whistle. According to 𝗕𝗥𝗘𝗔𝗞𝗡𝗚, Rüdiger's tone was far from diplomatic. He had to shout to wake up his teammates. 𝗕𝗥𝗘𝗔𝗞𝗡𝗚 directly stated, "It's a matter of attitude, not tactics," and Julian Nagelsmann called for playing every match like a Champions League semi-final. Another blow came not from the field, but from social media. Jonathan Tah, Rüdiger, and debutant Nnamdi Collins became the objects of racist attacks after the game. The German Football Association quickly handed over these comments to the prosecutor's office and published a statement: "We are not satisfied. You are not satisfied. But hatred has never improved the situation. Racism, especially, has no place here at all." However, not all is lost. This is only the first game in the qualifying for the 2026 World Cup, and the players' reaction, anger, disappointment, emotions, indicates that they are not indifferent. The team is painfully experiencing defeats, and this is already a step towards change. Rüdiger showed leadership qualities, Collins debuted, and Germany still has time to reboot itself. And if we imagine that Nagelsmann leaves, who will save the Bundesteam? Jürgen Klopp immediately comes to mind. His energy, charisma, and ability to work with young people could be the impetus that is currently lacking. Klopp in the role of Germany's savior, this is not just a scenario, it's an epic plot that you want to see on the big screen. Trabzonspor has reached a verbal agreement with Manchester United for the loan of Andre Onana. The clubs have already agreed on the terms, and now everything depends only on the goalkeeper himself. If he agrees, he could become the new number one in Trabzon after the departure of 𝗕𝗥𝗘𝗔𝗞𝗡𝗚 to Galatasaray. Onana has lost his place in United's starting lineup, and his only match this season was a defeat to Grimsby Town in the League Cup. The Turkish transfer window is still open until the 12th of September, so there is not much time left for a decision. This is a chance for Onana to restart his career, get regular playing practice, and regain confidence before important international tournaments. That's it for now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Keep watching for more football action, and have a wonderful day.